Well, everyone, what we feared would happen happened. The Dolphins' 7-game winning streak comes to a dramatic close by a score of 34-3 in Tennessee against the Titans. Gonna go through this with you. Be more than happy as always to do so. If you do like the content of this particular video, go ahead. You know what to do. Oh, I'm over here. Hit the thumbs up. That would be awesome. And feel free to subscribe to my channel as well, Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan. So let's get started, guys. This was a tough one. Dolphins come in at 8-7. Winners of 7 straight games. They go into Tennessee, and as I stated before in a previous video earlier this week, this would be the big test. And the Dolphins they lost to a better team. Now, yes, a few calls didn't go their way. I mean, yes, and I'll get into a little bit of that. But really, they were losing this game no matter what. Credit to the Titans. They win their 11th game of the season against only 5 losses. Dolphins now have a record of 8 wins, 8 losses. They are not officially eliminated yet, though. Thought they would be. As a matter of fact, I'm hearing that if the Chargers defeat the Broncos, as I make this video, that game should be already started, actually, or just started as I make this video. Then the Dolphins would be officially eliminated. So for now, we have to cheer on the Broncos. Let's put it that way. So let's get into it. I got the snippets board here. 34-3. By the way, Happy New Year. Great time of the year. The 2nd of January. Getting the new year started. So I hope you have an awesome 2022. Just like last year. Remember when the Dolphins needed that win against the Bills and they got destroyed? This was almost like part 2 of that. We'll start with the first point I have up here. I put down the Titans because, yeah, guys, this game really was about the Titans. It wasn't really about the Dolphins. It was about the Titans' ability to control the line of scrimmage, to run the football. Okay, D'Onta Foreman. I mean, this guy not only did he get the lanes to run through, and his offensive line did a great job, but he's a talented runner. I never realized how talented he is. He's really good, and he was the player of the game. 132 yards on the ground and a touchdown for him on 26 carries. So he gets the player of the game. The Titans coming into the game as a number 2 seed. They get the win, and the Chiefs lost. So I'm not sure how that works now. Do they have a chance at a number 1? We'll see how that works. Or as the top seed, I should say, in the AFC. But no matter how you want to slice it, if you're a Titan fan, you're feeling really good about things, especially with Derrick Henry missing several weeks due to injury, and it's almost like they don't miss a beat. But Foreman is good. He's a good runner. Point 2, all right, so now we get into a little more of the Dolphins here. I'm going to run through some stats in a moment, but this was not a good game for Tua. You can make the argument this might have been his worst game of the season in terms of how he played. Also, what doesn't really show up much in the stats was that trick play where he wasn't aware of the defender coming from his blind side. He lost the football, but luckily the Dolphins would recover that. He also had the unforced fumble, as you recall, when he was going back, right? He's going back, and there was not a defender near him, and the ball just slipped out of his hands. Now, I know it was a little wet. No excuse whatsoever. No excuse for that. You can't do that, especially in this spot. And he had a couple of good throws, but guys, with the mistakes, and he just didn't play well. I've been a fan of Tua's throughout the season. I became more of a fan of his this season. Not sure how the Dolphins are going to go with him moving forward. I mean, I like him as a player, but he did not. It would have been one thing if the Dolphins, I think, would have perhaps lost the game maybe 31, well, this was 34-3, let's say 34-20, Tua makes some good plays, maybe keeps him in the game, but no. 34-3. Point number 3, I put here the weather. The weather really, let's say, that's no excuse, guys. I hate to sound like this. The weather really wasn't that bad. You watch on TV, through the media, they make it sound like it's the ice bowl or something. It was like 40 degrees with like a light rain. The weather was not that bad. If you played Pee Wee football or Pop Warner or especially high school, chances are you played plenty of football games or practices or what have you in weather that was just like that. It wasn't that bad at all. So the Dolphins, other than the fact they play in a warm climate, okay, all right. But it gets in the 50s in South Florida, and can get in the 40s. Not sure if you have a 40-degree game starting at 1 o'clock. That would be out of the question. But you have 50-degree, 55-degree afternoons here. Okay, it was a dreary, cold day. It wasn't that bad. OL, that stands for offensive line. So really, Foreman, sorry if I said Freeman, D'Onta Foreman, because there's the Freeman running back for Baltimore. Mess up my name sometimes. But Foreman, the running back for the Titans, who had 132 yards and a touchdown, he really, he gets credit as the star of the game, the player of the game, but the offensive line controlled this game for the Titans. Plain and simple. The offensive line for the Titans controlled the game. Dolphin defense got pushed around throughout the afternoon. That's what happened, guys. Okay? All the Dolphins defense played great. We played great against the Jets twice, the Giants, Houston Texans, you name it. And yeah, the Dolphins defense came a long way, but you're up against a top team now, a physical team, and the offensive line once again for the Titans. They just pushed the Dolphins all over the place. That's what it looked like to me, watching it on my television. So Ryan Tannehill would complete 13 of 18 passes for 120 yards. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Most of his passes were off play action. Typical Tannehill type performance. If you give him a running game, which he certainly had today, he can burn you with he's good off the play action, and that he did that continuously in this game. Foreman's performance already mentioned. Dontrell Hilliard also ran the ball well for the Titans with 45 yards on 8 carries and a touchdown. Jeremy McNichols had 2 carries, 14 yards. Tannehill 7 yards on the ground, credited on 4 carries. A.J. Brown, now not much of a passing attack for the Titans. A.J. Brown led the way, 2 catches, 41 yards. Hilliard had 3 catches, 33 yards. Anthony Ferkser, tight end, saw him involved a lot earlier. 24 yards, 3 catches. He did have a touchdown catch. Chester Rogers, 13 yards on 2 catches. And Jeff Swaim had 3 catches for 9 yards and a touchdown reception. Tennessee would outrush the Dolphins, get this, 198-74. 198 yards on the ground for Tennessee. It was almost like I was watching Alabama against Cincinnati there for a moment. I was watching a semifinal game a couple of days ago. But I wasn't smiling about that because my Dolphins were losing and getting pushed around all over the place. Tua, as mentioned, did not play his best game by any stretch of the imagination. 18 of 38, 205 yards, no touchdowns, and interception. Gesicki threw a pass. Mike Gesicki on a gadget play. It was incomplete. Duke Johnson, here we go now, guys, with the running game. I got to be a little bit cautious on how I word this. I can't be that critical here. But I would have liked to see Duke Johnson get more than 7 carries. He was running the ball phenomenally well. He had 49 yards on 7 carries. He had 41 yards on his first 5 carries. So, but here's the thing. When Tennessee had the ball, they just controlled the clock, controlled the ball, controlled the game. So in this instance, I can kind of see why the Dolphins went away from the running game. I know I've been critical during all the losses early in the season. I can kind of sort of see it this time around. But boy, Duke Johnson was running the ball so well. Myles Gaskin, 23 yards on 5 carries. Phillip Lindsay, 2 carries for a yard. Tua had a yard on 2 carries and a fumble lost, as discussed earlier. So there you go, guys. Mike Gesicki led the way for the receivers, 51 yards on 4 catches. Jalen Waddle, 3 catches, 47 yards. Devontae Parker, 4 catches for 46 yards. That was an interference on Devontae on 4th and 11. Devontae gets the penalty, which of course you never want to see, but that was interference, guys. It was. And Dolphins are going to win this game anyway, but that was pass interference. I'm sorry. Durham Smythe, 3 catches, 37 yards. Johnson out of the backfield, 3 catches, 16 yards. Lindsay out of the backfield, 8 yards on 1 catch. Isaiah Ford had a catch. Didn't register any yards receiving. So that's where we are. After 16 weeks, the Dolphins are 8-8. Close out the regular season at home next week, the 9th, Sunday, at home against the New England Patriots. I saw the Raiders got a big win, so here's another problem too that I'm seeing. Raiders and Colts defeated the Dolphins in head-to-head early in the year in the head-to-head contests. So how we're still alive? I mean, Dolphins' season's like on fumes right now. But hey, you know what? Let's just hope the Broncos beat the Chargers. All right, let's just worry about that right now. By the time you watch this video, that game will probably already be played, or you already know the result. So let me know what you think, guys. Tough loss, 34-3. You know, what are we going to do? It was a great 7-game winning streak. It was great while it lasted. Cheer on the Broncos. What can I tell you? Leave me a comment. We'll talk again soon. Bye for now.